Hi guys, I hope you're having a great day. Um, this is my 1 year video. I have been painting for 1 year. That that's just amazing to me. And I've improved so much. And I want to share that with you. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and check out the previous video I did on this when I did my very first 6 months from day one to the end of 6 months, and I'll put up a little card for you right here. What we're looking at right now is the goals I gave myself back then. For the last 6 months, these were my goals. I wanted less natural colors and more experimental. I wanted to work on my Chinese brushwork and the old masters. Things I wanted to look at: subjects, waterfalls, the Japanese masters, spontaneous, trees and mountains. And things that I was hopeful of being able to work on were birds, the hockey brush. I was hopeful of getting a mentor and basically surviving the coronavirus. And so that is where we are right now. So unlike last time when I put things in chronological order, this time I did it by my goals. Like with my color, I wanted less natural, more experimental, things like that. So I showed you how I achieved things rather than when I achieved things. So the pictures I've chosen to show you are from May through September, and they could be in any order at all. So now that I've set that all up, let's take a look at the pictures that I've done. By May, I had finally gotten over the coronavirus. I was able to paint, and May was very prolific. This is one of the ones that I did do in May. And I love conehead daisies so much. They are so easy to do. They're so much fun. And they look nice. So, yeah, it was nice to start off with this one. This feather was so much fun. I used my new sparkly paint, and basically what I did was just smear some paint on the page and let it dry and decide what it looked like to me. And I could see a feather. So I used a little pen and ink and just outlined the feather and watched it just come alive. I had so much fun doing this one. With this one, I was doing my best to be relaxed. No detail. Just throw it on there, have an idea of what you want, and just do it. And this is one of those little happy accidents Bob Ross always talks about. I really enjoyed this. I like how it came out, and it's totally different than my normal style. Then one day I heard Danse Macabre, and this entire picture just bloomed in my head. Yes, even with the stick figures. I had so much fun doing this, and it reminds me when I was a kid and I used to do stick figures, and I got really good at it. I might just go back and start doing them again. I probably shouldn't have this one on my list of good works because it's not. But when I was doing this one, I was looking for a couple of things. I wanted to practice my leaves as usual, but I also wanted to work on my insects, and I think I did a pretty good job with this little grasshopper. I mean, he's not perfect, but he's pretty good. But what I really liked about it was the reflections that I got on the little pot, the planter. So, yeah, things were wrong with it, but there were also things that I really liked. I was even playing around with doodles a little bit. And where normally I wouldn't put something like that on here, this taught me something monumental to me, was that the line does not have to match the color. This is big for me, okay? Big. One of the biggest strides forward I have done as an artist is pre-planning. Doing little thumbnail sketches and thinking about it and planning it out, everything from the color to the composition to what kind of brushes to use. This was probably my largest stride, even though, you know, maybe my pictures didn't reflect that, but in my head, I'm way more advanced than I was before. This one came from a challenge of make something that isn't cute into something that is. I don't remember what kind of spider I chose. I don't remember its name. I do remember it doesn't actually use a web. It's a hunter and it jumps. But I had so much fun with this, and there was a lot of pre-planning for such a simple picture. And here again you can see how I was planning things out from very basic shapes to what color and what kind of brush and where it was going to go and where my shadow was. Things that I don't normally or used to think about. And this was the end result. Looking at it now, I wouldn't have done it this way. I've learned yet even more since I did this, and this picture, interesting, but not what I would do now. The line of sight is wrong. But hey, you learn, that's the point, right? And now we're done pretty much with the stuff that only another artist would actually appreciate or even be interested in. And now I'm showing you some of the stuff that I'm actually pretty proud of. Some are totally out of my own imagination, some are tutorials that I followed, some are just a composite of a bunch of different things. But these are ones that I planned out. The elephant was from a one-word prompt, diversity. This is one of my favorites. Luminosity, color mixing. I learned a lot from this picture. I finally learned how to do auroras, and they are not as easy as they look. This was so much fun doing this. Took me a while, and it was the first animal that I did that had fur, so, you know, overall, I think I did okay. Another luminosity. Lots of color mixing, lots of planning. The sunbeams were new for me. Yeah, this was a learning experience. One thing I was trying for this was to find out if I could mix blue and yellow and not get green. And yeah, I did blue and yellow. A night sky. This one was from a tutorial, and I felt like I did okay with it. So, planning things out versus spontaneous trees and mountains. I actually did this bird without a picture, just solely from memory, and basically just a couple of strokes. I was really happy with this. This one was, don't know how to describe it, throwing paint on the paper and seeing what happens. Practicing my Chinese rocks. Yeah, it's okay. Not the greatest, but not the worst. This one was equally frustrating and fun. It was from a YouTube channel that does these much, much better than I do. But I finally figured out how to do it. And maybe 10% as compared to their 100. I love doing branches. I love trees and branches. More mountains. I really do need to practice my mountains. I'll get better. And I like having a sky that isn't blue. This was done for perspective. It was following a tutorial too. This rock was better. I liked this one better. I liked the colors. The paper actually worked for me rather than against me with that really hard ridge. Don't like that paper. It was spontaneous, but I don't know. I like it, and there's stuff about it I don't like, but I love the sky. Like the waterfall. It's okay. Now I'm really working on those Chinese brushworks. This one was actually on rice paper. I don't know if it was the first one, but it was pretty close. So, learning a whole new medium, whole new paper. Of course, Monet is Lily Pond. I actually have a tutorial on how I did this, and this was from a tutorial. One of my favorites. Now this is kind of complete, but I stopped. Obviously it's a Van Gogh, obviously, and I want to do more Van Goghs. I want to study him and see how he did it. This was from one of my Chinese brushwork books. I love doing that one. I love the leaves. This one's out of my head, but it was doing Chinese brushwork, Chinese colors. Yeah, I really like that one. It was small, actually, like 4 by 7, something like that. Another one, practicing my rocks, getting that fade out quality. Yeah, a lot more could have been done with this, but it was a good start. more branches, just a different kind of tree. Working a bit on those flowers. Alright, this one actually I was doing while I was sick with COVID. It was horrible. It was on my desk for like 7 weeks before I could finish it. The last thing I did was that tree, and that was when I was feeling a lot better, and that's the best part about it. A lot of people like this, and I wasn't in love, but it's a good start. It's a good start. Doing some tree studies, 3 different kinds of trees: pine tree, cherry blossom, and the generic spring green tree. And my very mostest favorite picture of all, I love this picture. I'm probably going to go back and do it again, but I did it really well. It was a Chinese master, did my best, and I am super happy with it. There we are. Did I achieve my goals, my last set of goals? Did I do less natural and more experimental colors? Yes, I did. Did I do more work on my Chinese brushes and the old masters? Yes, I did. Did I do waterfalls and spontaneous trees and mountains? Yes, I did all of that. The only thing I didn't do was birds. I didn't do any birds at all, and I'm not sorry, I don't enjoy birds. The hake brush, I did buy some, I did try them, I did not like them. I wanted a minter, did not get one. I did survive COVID, but I still am not recovered from COVID. And that brings me to one thing I am not happy about. Due to COVID, I lost a lot of time. I lost altogether 18 weeks of just trying to recover and not being able to do anything. I wonder where I would be right now if I'd managed to get those 18 weeks in. Yeah, I wouldn't have been, the next Picasso or something, but I would have been more advanced than I am, and that makes me a little bit sad. But that's the way it is, okay? There's nothing I can do about that. I can only look forward to the next 6 months and hope that I just hit the ground running and blow out all my goals and expectations. And here's my next set of goals for the next 6 months. Knock on wood. Oh, I'm gonna nail it. Of course I am. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a really good day. And please subscribe for me. That would be very helpful. And like the video. YouTube. That's all it wants. Thanks. Bye-bye.